Okay, dudes. I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna show y'all how I fucking build my company. Because I watched Jared Williams video today and I've seen this fucking all these home services guys that market shit. And I think some of them get lucky, and I think they get lucky because they're doing shit that I do, along with that Jared Williams style shit. I think they're fucking owning the company and they're calling the shots and they're doing what they need to do to make this happen while they're trying that next star sales bullshit, but it's not necessary. So I want to make a video showing you how my dumbass did this, exactly what the fuck I did, no bullshit, exactly how it went down. Because I never had to worry about payroll. I grew quick. I grew very fast. I grew to where I had a net worth very quickly. So here's how I did it. Step one, day one, I started out with $7,000. Okay, $7,000, and within 1 year from that $7,000, August 2023 to August of 2024, I did well over 2 million, like 2.3 million. My bookkeeping wasn't solid for the first like 6 months, so we're not 100% solid on how much it was, but we know we're going to do over 3 million for 2024. And I did that with $7,000, boys. Let me show you how I did. First thing I did was Yelp. Okay, my buddy Derek, who now works here, who didn't at the time, he told me about a guy he knew that started a company and just advertised on Yelp and it worked for him. So like as soon as I started, basically, I was like, well, fuck it. I looked at Yelp. They had $400 in leads for for $100. Okay. So I paid $100 and I got the equivalent of $400 in leads. And sometimes I think these leads would cost like $12 or something like that. Like someone would send me a message through Yelp saying, hey, what will you charge me to change a garbage disposal? And I would tell them like, oh, it's $89 for me to come out there, or give me a call and we could see. And it was not really that good of business. It was not that sustainable. Okay. But it got me going. It only cost $100. And one of the first week I did it though, I did get a slab leak and a gas reroute that was like $7,500 to combine at one house off that fucking $100 I spent in leads. I got like a $7,500 job and several like sewer blockages that I did for like 380 and shit like that. But that was the first like month I did that. And then the other thing that helped me out is Jeremy, who works for me. We went and did work for his mom, and she made a next door post. She made a next door post, took a picture of my fucking truck, which had my phone number on it, and she put it like in the Capel neighborhood that they were in. And Capel is like North Dallas, like kind of like a really decent, like middle class, upper middle class suburb. Very nice new houses, very nice area, right? And she posted me on there, and I got a lot of work from that one post that she did that I didn't ask her to do, that any homeowner could have done, that you could say, hey, you know what helps is if you put on Nextdoor how baller I was for you, like that would help a lot. And that one post led to so many calls in Capel. I still do service calls in Capel to this day. Like I literally still to this day take residential service calls in Capel because I feel like I owe them. So that one next door post, just one of them led to thousands and like water heaters, slab leaks, gas repairs, fucking water filters, you name it, all types of shit. Okay. So that was the first thing I did. And that got me to like over 10K a week right off the bat, dude. Like immediately, just those two. And it wasn't really the Yelp. Yes, it was to a degree because it got people to see me. And then once I was there, I closed the fucking deal, right? So I could have spent 10,000 on Yelp, and if I'm like some dickhead that people don't like, I'm still fucked, right? Like I'm not gonna get like the business, right? And everything I did turned into repeat business too, because of all the other shit I've talked about and all the other videos, which I can't get into in this one, or it'll be a 1,000-hour video. But I started getting like over 10K per week, right? Some people get comfortable and they're like, hey, this is working, okay? 10K per week. I was like, like after expenses, I could fucking take home 4,000 easy if I want, like easy. And so it's easy to get comfortable there. But I realized I don't want to fucking, like, I don't want to have to be in the truck my whole life. I want to get other guys. And I know that, like, this is just one guy sustainable. And this is a good place to be. This is a good fucking place to be. There's nothing wrong with staying here forever. Like, this is what Plumbing Left, Drumming Right does. And he has a better life than me. Like, that motherfucker, like, his money's his money. He don't have 100,000 employees and trucks and fucking bullshit to pay with. And he's just, his life is great. Like, so this is a good place to be. But for me, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to grow, right? So the next opportunity that came my way was subcontractor work, okay? Sub work. And what that is a company that's better than you, has more work than they can do, and they need someone to help them do it. And so a company that was bigger than me had sold a bunch of McDonald's, Taco Bells, Whataburgers, fucking racetracks, all types of shit like that, right? Tons of fucking corporate fast food things. And I worked out. All right, whoops, messed up a little bit. So anyway, sub work. A lot of corporate fast food restaurants. The deal I worked out with this company was I would do these jobs for them, and I provide a crew of 2 to 3 guys for $1,800 a day. Okay, so at the time, this is pretty cool for me because like I happen to have my father-in-law who I can bring on and another plumber from the past, Tomas and Timo, which I brought those guys over to start doing this sub work for me, right? So I'm using my father-in-law to kind of help me with some of my fucking service projects, residential service projects. And then every day I'm making $1,800 a day for like $900 or less in labor every fucking day. Sometimes it's just Tomas and Timo. So like their labor for the day costs me like $650 after payroll taxes. You know what I mean? So I'm doing pretty well off that. And when I'm doing this sub work, that company that hired me, they had sold so many jobs and they had no plumbers, right? They had like one plumber and then they hired like 2 other companies besides me to do work. Those other 2 companies made the critical mistake that I'm going to talk about avoiding in this video. The critical mistake of they had a good deal and that's all they did. Okay, my uncle did this. This is why I'm not the first Dyson plumbing. My uncle did this. He did construction. That's all he knew, and he was doing like apartments and new construction residential. And when the builder he was working for dried up, he dried up. That's all he had. So if you're only dipping from one fucking well, don't be surprised when that well dries up, which is, I think, the number one mistake I see plumbers make. They get a good deal and they're like, nope, let's do this. Let's get comfortable. Don't get fucking comfy. So the second I started doing this, I remember one person I was talking to, a business owner, a plumbing business owner, he was like, fuck, you got a raw deal. That's zero risk. You're doubling your money. You're still doing this shit. And you got this guy paying for a lot of your fucking superintendent guys going to help you with other service projects. So I'm like double dipping, really. I was doing really well. But I knew immediately, I was like, I can't just count on that because I've got 3 guys basically dependent on this. And if those dry up, what do I do with those 3 guys? I can't just like fuck them over, right? So I was looking for other opportunities. Another opportunity popped up. 3rd revenue stream. Okay, I'm still doing both these. Then the medical build-out stuff presented itself. Okay, so this was construction on my terms, right? Like this one, this other guy sold it. I'm just charging him a price per day. He's paying for materials. He's getting all the profit. I'm just selling labor, right? Well, the medical build-out is my kind of intro into I got all of it. I'm selling the materials. I'm getting markup on all of it. It's my job. I'm bidding it to get profit. And so it's more risk. But it doesn't work out at first. At first, the guy that's hiring me told me I'm too expensive. I need to learn how to fucking sell to be priced for him. And I'm like, well, you can fucking kick rocks. This is what it costs. If you don't like it, don't buy it, right? And the thing in Texas, at least, probably in most places, it's probably not unique to Texas. It's probably everywhere. These dudes that own these businesses, they're not pussies. They're fucking type A dudes. They will eat your lunch. If they can walk on you, they're gonna fucking stomp on your shit, dude. Like, so be ready to fucking fight. Be ready to be fucking, not like fist fight, but don't be a bitch. You know what I mean? So I got this, didn't work out, walked away, came back, whatever. I came back, it really started working out. And it turned into over 100K per month, okay? Over 100K per month. In order to take care of all this medical build out, I brought over Derek and Randall. And I got some other helpers too. But Derek and Randall, Derek's my brother-in-law. He's still here to this day. Randall is like, was a city inspector for Dallas, my wife's cousin, one of my best buddies. So I brought them over. And they're all kind of helping me do this. I'm doing a lot of residential service still, and I still got my father-in-law doing the sub work. Okay, so I'm starting to feel pretty good that like I've got 3 revenue streams. I'm not too much dependent on anybody, but once this got to 100K per month, it was taking too much where I had to quit this. I had to quit doing the fucking sub work because it was like, look, I'm making way more gross margin for the company. I'm doing way better off this medical build out than I'm off this subcontractor work, even though it's 0 risk, 0 cost. I just didn't have the manpower to supply. I needed all my guys doing my jobs. So I quit doing this, and I went to doing all my fucking construction shit on this, right? But that scared me, okay? Because even then it was getting to where I was too busy to do this shit. So I didn't want this one company to represent more than like 25% of my pay. Because I didn't want to fall in that trap of being stuck. So I found like I used like Build Connected. I called a bunch of people. I talked to one service customer that I was doing dialysis things for, and talked to them. And said, "Hey man, I got a whole construction crew. I got all these things." And so I got like 2 or 3 other big construction customers. Like right now, one of those customers I'm doing like 400K with in the next 2 months. That's not that main customer I got that decided me to get going on this shit. But once all that started going on, like I got to where I'm doing over 100K, I didn't have time for this anymore. Okay, and like even though I had diversified my my business on the medical build out, it was still only medical build out, which there's a lot of companies that do that. And like not just medical build out, but like build out, tenant finish out, remodel. It's like all I was doing. And I immediately got scared. And I was like, okay, I gotta get back into service, right? So once I saw that, I was like, okay, commercial service time. And I contacted some of the buildings people I used to that were reaching out to me when I first started, but like some of my old customers from when I was still a service tech for other companies. And I wound up getting a really big property that turned into a lot of money, and then it turned into like 3 properties that I still deal with. And between those 3 properties, I do probably like 700-800K at least. And those 3 properties are still my meat and potatoes, but they have led to a lot of referral shit. And I've talked about that with all these other commercial properties to where now I've got probably 4 or 5 big commercial customers that are all giving me, 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 grand a week or a month. And so, the commercial service started to represent about 50% of my sales. And the build out construction was about the other 50% of my sales. And then I made sure, so I had 2 revenue streams, but like we don't want to, it's none of it is all dependent on one person. What I did was I had those, like at this point where I am now, which at this point we're 14 months into this company. Like we have legs, we have a sustainable product. I keep getting new customers growing. Like we're not a flash in the pan. We're not going anywhere. I will be here 10 years from now unless I decide to sell. But of my commercial service, I've got like 3 or 4. Like it's split up into fucking 3 or 4 or 5 like customers. Where if I lose one, it's not gonna break me. And the same thing with my fucking construction, where now I've got like so many big customers that I'm not dependent on any one. And so I think that's what I want to get across this whole video is about is don't fall into that trap of thinking you got a good thing going and just sticking with that. Unless you're wanting to do that first step of that next door kind of local advertising, small scale, which trust me, is a great place to be. It really is. I think it's like either to be where I'm at in that like $3 to $5 million range where it's kind of like low stress, more money than you know what to do with, that range, or the fucking first step. Those 2 places are like the best places to be. Because like if you're doing like I said, like plumbing left, drum and right style, where you've got all the business you want at the rates you need, he's probably making 200K a year, just fucking chilling, bro. So, but if you want to get to where I'm at, you need to have multiple fucking streams or your your house built a fucking your house of cards. You know what I mean? You don't want to make it to where one fucking card comes out and it all crashes down. So I don't know. Whiteboard videos, I feel like are kind of gay, but they seem to be my best videos. So bye.